I am so excited for another interview this week, and I cannot wait for you to get to know more Ben Deal, real estate agent based on Houston, Texas. Have an amazing experience for over 8 to 9 years in real estate. But one of his main strongest pillar in his business is the investment side. And today he's breaking down all that you need to know about that. And also he has an investor agent game plan to help you how to associate, how to help, how to get started by adding investors into your real estate business, and how he shared that he had 28 deals, all from talking and working with about 8 to 9 investors. So just the duplication in this business, it can grow quite fast. So stay tuned for hearing more about all the stories that Ben has to share. And as per usual, make sure you guys are subscribing to the page because you don't want to miss all these amazing interviews that I have here week over week with top producers that are in real estate, not only just sharing something that they did, but something that they're doing today and what it's helping them as we are going to all these changes that is constantly happening into the real estate business. But stay tuned and let's just get this interview started. Hey everybody, as I provided this amazing introduction, here we are and having this call today with Ben Deal from Houston, Texas. Ben, thank you so much for joining me today. I am so thrilled to hear from you and everybody else that it's, getting to listen to this podcast, get to know more of all the amazing things you're doing in Texas.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here, excited for our conversation and spend some time with you. So
absolutely. Well, as I kind of already, coming from my introduction, I share a little bit of your, high level information and all the things that you're doing, but please take us back a little bit before real estate. What were you doing and why you got you into real estate?
Yeah, so my background, I've been in sales and business development my entire career. So pretty much, once I graduated from college, I went straight into the corporate business world, and I did that through sales. So the heart of everything I love to do is connect, be of service to people, work with people. So I love networking, connecting, working with people. And for me, sales, business development was that lane. And so that's where I started my career. With the Fortune 500 company. I was actually living in California, in the Bay Area in San Francisco for the start of my career. Started in supply chain, transportation, logistics, then got into alternative energy. And I moved from like Fortune 500 to startups and a bunch of different companies in between. Bounced around in the Bay Area for 10 years. Went down to LA and moved to Houston now 10 years ago, last month. So yeah, it's been great. Full-time in real estate for the last 9 years now. And the whole reason why I got into real estate was because I was tired of the corporate grind. I was just tired of being in a job, having a boss, having a cap on how much I could create, how much I could produce, but more importantly, it was just, I felt like that environment wasn't where God was calling me to be. And, the calling he's got in my life to go out and live, and serve the way I feel like I'm called to serve. It's just, I was too restrained, just wanted some freedom, some flexibility, and some opportunity. And more importantly, just hope. It's like when I was in the corporate team, it was always under somebody's thumb, and no matter how much I created, I was only getting a very small percentage of whatever the revenue was that I was producing. And at the end of the day, it just wasn't fulfilling at all. So heard about real estate, specifically real estate investing. And that's when I started. Like I moved to Houston for my last corporate job and just wanted to find out how I can make more money. Like what's something I could do in addition to my corporate job, and stumbled upon real estate investing. I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And then sure enough, like there was a group that came through town, kind of these big traveling road shows for real estate investment education. My wife was pregnant with our first daughter at the time. It was the summer in Houston. We spent a full weekend at a airport, Marriott out at the Houston Intercontinental Airport. And we invested like 3 days of our weekend trying to figure out what this real estate investing thing was. Got totally overwhelmed. Thankfully, we didn't have money for like the big pitch that they do. If you've been to any of those real estate investment seminars or events where they're like 30, 40, $50,000 to like join our mastermind group. And we just, thankfully we weren't equipped. And, but that time we invested into the room, some of the knowledge that we acquired, that started our journey into real estate. So it all started on the investment side, primarily wholesaling. So that's how we got started.
Wow, that's amazing. So, I mean, I know you already kind of been in real estate, I'd say 8, 9 years. So did you had a little bit of a transition, still keeping your full-time job and starting the investment on the side, and then you went full-time?
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, and this was all God's plan, and it was just like, thankfully, if you are looking to get into real estate, a lot of the real estate education courses or anything you hear or see online, the big thing they always encourage you to do, one, is to acquire the information, but they also encourage you to go out and network. Like, go to your local real estate investment association events, real estate investment networking events. And so like, I love doing that. So at that time, my daughter wasn't born yet, and I was at real estate networking events like 2, 3, 4 nights a week. And I was just going out, networking, learning, meeting people. And little did I know, because it was all God's plan, but like, I had done a bunch of networking. We had started kind of fumbling through wholesaling and door knocking pre-foreclosures and trying to help people, but we really didn't know what we didn't know, and we didn't know what we were doing. And I ended up getting fired from my corporate job that brought me down to Houston. And so my wife was 6 months pregnant, and I got fired and kind of started freaking out. But I realized there were a couple guys that I had met and got to know, and they were starting their own wholesaling operation. They were starting their own real estate investment company, and they were looking for an acquisitions agent. And so I reached out to them, I applied, and I was their first acquisitions agent. And what that means is they built out the whole real estate marketing machine to communicate with homeowners. And then when the leads came in and they set the appointments, I was the one that went out and met with the homeowners to see how we could be helpful, be of service to them. If it fit, if we were a fit, I would put the property under contract, and then we would sell that to an investor. That's like what wholesaling is. And so I did that. Thankfully, like, that was all in alignment. The timing was a little stretched because, in real estate, you don't get your first deal right away. There's always a runway and a ramp up, but thankfully I was able to get some traction, get things going in a relatively short period of time, and worked with those guys for 2 years, and then worked with another big wholesaling operation down here in Houston for another 2 years. So yeah, that's how I got started. It wasn't like a transition plan. Like, oh, okay, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to make this and save this and do this. It was not like that. It was like, I got fired, and thank God I had some opportunity that lined up. So the one thing I would say though, if anybody is in the corporate game, because we talk with a lot of people that are looking to get into real estate. If you do a corporate job, this is just my like little 2 cents, but if you do have a corporate job, just try to do real estate in the pockets of your time. If you do want to go all in and like quit the job and go, make sure you've got some funds or some resources set aside that will give you that runway or that launch period, because it does take 30, 60, 90, 100 days or more to like get your feet set, to get traction, to get a deal going. Like, in general, just to get a real estate transaction from start to finish, it could take, in best case scenario on the retail side of the market, it could take, 30, 60 days, best case scenario. Realistically, it goes longer than that. So if you are looking to move into real estate, you can do it in the pockets of your time to get set. But also, if you're ready to go all in, just do it. But that's kind of mine. Mine was not planned. It was a short stop, and then thankfully I had an opportunity ready to go.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. And obviously it set you up, right? Even if you stumble in it, and obviously I know that, yourself and mine, we do believe that things open up as they're supposed to, and we're learning and growing and all of that. But especially, and I love you sharing that, and thank you for all the details and being transparent, because I feel like, a lot of times what we post on social media and things like that, people think we had all this master plan, and try to go and execute it, especially when you transition from, full-time job to full-time real estate. And but not always it works that way, right? We think what the best scenario could be, right? Saving the money, doing all of those things, and I had those ideas as well, and still it didn't work out that way. I just needed to commit and say enough is enough. I need to go full-time, and we'll see what happens on the other side. And especially I knew that was what I was supposed to do, right? So it took a lot of encouragement for sure, but uh, I had a lot of like scenarios and things that, God showing in people that it was just like, this was my time. I was the one that actually delayed it because of fear. So I would love for you to
Yeah.
touch a little bit because I know we're partners. We're in a lot of the same calls, and I love like how positive you are. You're always speaking up and encouraging other people. Just if you can share a little bit of your mindset, even like, you lost your job, you're about to be a dad, and all those pressures that comes with just that outside, out of your control situation. What do you think mindset helped you then, even if that was a thing for you 9 years ago, or it was something you developed with time? But I would love to just hear that from you because to me, when every time I hear you talking, you're so centered. I feel like you are level-headed person with your mindset, but I'm curious if it was something that at that time it was already part of you.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing for me, and I share with a lot of people I talk that are looking to get into real estate or in it. I love real estate because it is the best opportunity for me to exercise my faith every day. Okay.
Hmm.
And when I say that, I'm a follower of Christ and I'm a believer. And what I do know is that through this business, wherever you are in your walk, it's just the less that you surrender, or the more that you surrender to God's plan, like that I am not in control, the more grace and peace and perspective you'll have in the business. Because the biggest challenge is that real estate can be a very emotional business, and especially when the pressure's on, when you're trying to create an income, or like when I was getting started, or when anybody's getting started, it's like, man, the pressure just to get that first check, or to keep the money going, or get the consistency rolling. It never really goes away, because real estate, it's transactional business, and it's like one deal to the next. And you just really have to have that faith to know that God control, and that He will provide. It's like the big thing for me. There's so many lessons that I continually reflect upon and encourage myself with, that real estate is a business of bearing fruit, and it takes a lot of work. It's like a business of sowing, and you just have to do a lot of the simple, consistent, daily disciplined work. And I still have challenges with that every day. It's like doing the foundational, just like you're saying. It's not the sexy work or the fun posts on social media. It's like just the daily activity, that the work I do now will show up 3 months, 6 months, a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years. Like, I have no idea. And so
Hmm.
you just have to go out and be diligent with doing that work. And then the beautiful thing is with real estate is it will compound. Like, eventually over time, with consistent work done long enough over time, whether it's through production or through building our team and community, or pouring into people, it's like it will end up bearing fruit in the future. It's just for me, that's what's changed, really big, for me, and it's just been more solidified. It's all in my faith. It's like, this business is always challenging. The more I can put my faith in God, and kind of not be as reactive,
Hmm.
not try to become a victim of like, oh my God, this happened, this deal got terminated, or this didn't work out, or something that's out of my control, like the interest rates or the market or whatever time of year, like all that stuff. I just have so much more grace, and not as stressed out, depressed. Like, I used to always carry that weight around, but it just gives me a different sense of like peace and feel as you navigate the business. And so that's, for me, that my faith is like super important. I believe that this is a business of faith. we get into real estate because we're pursuing like this thing of wealth, or pursuing, the opportunity to create as much money as you want or impact as you want. And so there's that hope and the faith piece of it. So
No, and that's beautifully said. And um, I do, agree with you that not only just in real estate, but just in life, right? Not having that hope and faith component. Sometimes I don't know how people do it. You can be on the desperate mode very quickly, and it can be deep, and so I appreciate you sharing that. So today, a little bit with your current business, like, are you focusing more on the investment side? Obviously, I know you still are closing deals and growing a team, or you're just kind of managing a little bit of all.
Um, yeah, so it is both. I think that's the big thing. Like, real estate's an and game. Like, for me, real estate is an and business. It's like, yes, I work with investors and I work my retail business or my sphere of influence business. So I do both. I'm not in a position where I get to be picky of like, hey, I'm only going to do this and not do that and turn business away or whatever. So I'm still active. I think the big thing for me, I've just been equipped with my background and my experience and some wisdom in my perspective. Like, I love helping agents become successful
Mhm.
in real estate. And I know and I believe that any real estate agent that wants to create success now or into the future needs to work with real estate investors in some capacity, way, shape, or form, period. Like, and ultimately at the end of the day, I want to become continue to invest and be an investor and create wealth. I mean, because that's what I want to do. So if you hear any of that wisdom, it's like, help other people get what they want. I will get what I want. So, Zig Ziglar said that. And it's like, all right, well, I'm going to help people create wealth in real estate so I can do the same. So working with real estate investors is the most efficient and effective way to do more deals, make more money. And that's what I'm going out and sharing with my team, with you, with our community, in the greater, like any real estate agent out there, just because working with investors for me foundationally is the best way to build a business.
So I know you shared a little bit, that in the beginning you're like going to investment, mastermind and meetups and network, 2 to 3 times a week. Would you say that that's something you recommend for the agents that you are coaching and helping them, grow their business, especially entering into the investment side? Like, is that some of the steps that you recommend them, like just kind of getting to know investors and, get that relationship going?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely part of it. And, I'm happy to share with you and anybody that wants to check it out. I've got a investor agent game plan, and that's how I've built my business. So, and I didn't get to this, at the beginning, but I went and worked with those two wholesaling companies. I went and worked with one of the top real estate investors in Houston, a guy that's got like 150 rental properties, a hard money lending company, a property management company, a home buying business. Like, I was his agent, his primary agent. And what I realized when I left working with him, went to go work with a small mastermind group, and then I joined our Wolfpack team at EXP like 4 years ago. When I joined EXP as an independent producing agent, I did 39 deals and over $10 million in sales my first year. And I didn't do that by working with 39 people. I did that by working with 8 people. So, like, when you work with real estate investors, you've got an opportunity to work with less people, to do more deals, and it allows you to create some leverage in your business where you can do less do less and create more. And so that investor agent game plan, what I break down, there's 2 pillars to it. One is working with real estate investors. And the investors I'm talking about, they are not the real estate investors that you see on TikTok or Instagram. They're not the influencers. The investors are people that you and I already know. They're already in our sphere of influence. They're the business owners, the doctors, the lawyers, the people that have money.
Mhm.
They don't have the time, or they're not even interested really in acquiring all the knowledge. They just want the vehicle of real estate investing. They want to buy rental properties. They want to buy small multifamily. Like, they want to buy that. And so for me, for my agents, for anybody that's listening wants to learn this, like that's what you do. You go and say, hey, I'm not just your traditional realtor. I am an investor agent. I am here to help you invest in real estate. If you're looking to build your portfolio, that is what I can help you do. I can help you buy rental properties, cash flowing asset, produce like appreciation producing assets. And so, because a lot of people, they just know the traditional, financial investment strategies and, this, that, and the other, but people know of real estate investing. If you just share to your community, hey, I can help you do this. We all have people in our sphere that want that help right away. And that's like a crazy amount of volume. It's a great opportunity for all of us to go out and do more deals. So that's the first part of the game plan. And then getting to that, finding the investors, one, they're in your sphere of influence, and you can go to the events like you were talking about to find people that are kind of stepping up, investing with their time to get into the rooms. You've got to do some sifting and sorting, some discernment, some qualification to find the people that are actually like qualified, they're active, they're ready to invest. But getting into those rooms, you'll acquire information and you will meet people, network, you'll find the vendors that are in the space. So those events are super important. So.
No, and that's awesome. And, I know I'll touch on this as we're, wrapping up, but all Ben's information will be on the description, and you share something that is pretty cool. And that's why I love doing these podcast, interviews, because we always learn new things. Because I'm just starting with, tipping in a little bit into the investment side. Also for myself, like I don't believe in real estate just for my clients, but we see that on our future as well. We want to have as many doors as possible, for our retirement. That's what we see into real estate. And I tell my clients too, like, hey, if you can keep your house before we buy the next one, I could tell you, like, sell the house so I can have two deals. But usually I'm like, no, I want you to become, a landlord and invest as well, because that's what I see for myself. And I feel like that's a trust that you build with your clients as well. But I love what you share about your first pillar. And it's just like, and this is why we need coaches. We need to, be in rooms with other people that have the experience, because it's like simple things that you can learn about, like being strategic with someone that like Ben that already have all this experience in investing. And for me, it was like, I've learned something on this call. Like I didn't even like, it seems so simple, especially for you, Ben, because you're doing this all the time. But just like, yes, there are all these people that have the capital, the money to invest, but they don't have the time. And you can be that person that, brings the deals for them. And there's a lot less emotional, involved in that, because they're just looking for, it's just the business side. So it's a very yes or no, straightforward, versus a first time buyer that they're putting everything they have on the table for that one deal. And you have to walk through with them through all the emotional, all the ups and downs. So I always hear that from people that, work with investors. They're like, I love working with investors because you just looking, does the numbers make sense? And then that's it. There's the emotional side is not in the picture on that side. And do you feel that it's true? Like, because I know you have that experience of working more with investors.
Oh yeah. No, it's absolutely true. So investors do more deals. They buy all the time. It's a financially driven, non-emotional decision. Okay. And it's all relationship centric. So like, I don't know why you would not want to work with an investor or a handful of investors that are actively buying, unless you like, and I love serving homeowners. I love people that are buying their forever homes, or they're like on the retail side. It's just, I would go show 5 properties to an investor and make offers on 3 and then buy 2, instead of drive around and show 20 homes to a family, a great family that I love and I want to help them, and then they still are on the fence. Like they don't, like, we spent a full weekend looking at properties and I don't even know if we're going to get an offer in because they're not sure. So it's a way more efficient, more effective line of business that you can build foundationally, and that's that first main piece of the game plan that I share.
No, that's awesome. So I know you're coaching and you're helping agents because you're growing, your organization as well. What would it be some, maybe either for a new agent that's getting started in this business, this industry right now, or maybe someone that maybe 2025 hasn't been the year how they thought it was going to be. Like if there's some tips or something that you could share of like someone that's either getting started or just need to feel unstuck to, close this year to even use the last, few months that we have to 2025 to set them apart, for the upcoming year.
Yeah, I think the one there's two things I would focus on. One, just ask yourself if doing the same thing is going to get you to where you want to go. So if you keep doing what you're doing, well, are you going to get the result that you want? Because, and if not, then that's an opportunity that you can talk with us, about how to go out and build your business, in a different way, whether it's, using social media, whether it's, working with investors, like do something different. It doesn't mean stop doing what you're doing, but there may be a pivot that you need to make in your business to get it redirected. And I know for me, like this time of year, I'm super busy. Because my clients do not care, investors do not care that it's fall heading into winter. They don't care what time of year it is. They don't care what's happening in the market. They don't care who's in political office, what's happening geopolitically. Like investors are buying all the time. So we're busy this year. Like we're busy this time of year. Like traditionally in the holidays, it gets quiet, but this is like the busiest, most active season for investors because the retail market's quiet. Okay. And that's where inventory on market, if there's, higher supply, lower demand, we can make, great value-based offers. And, so anyway, that's one thing I would just say, hey, calibrate and look at your business, but also really more importantly, who are you doing this business with? Because for me, that's the most important. You talked about like mentoring, coaching, and all that stuff. I believe real estate can be a very hyper isolating business. Like crazy, solo independent. I'm out here for myself, fending for myself, doing the work for myself. Nobody cares about me. I'm just paying into some broker that doesn't provide me any value. All of that stuff, like I experience, I hear, I feel, and what I know, what we have, with the Wolfpack is totally different. And it's because we've got an incredible community of some of the top real estate agents, top producing agents, top real estate investors, top social media impact influencers. Like we have got the best community in the entire real estate industry. That's part of the reason why, we're getting so much growth. We're not going out. People are attracted to who we are and what we're doing. And that's the whole reason why I joined. Like I did not join the Wolfpack. I did not join EXP because it was the EXP. I joined because of two guys that are down here in my market in Houston. They are two of the top real estate investors in Houston, in Texas, really in the entire country. And I could partner with them just by bringing my license to their team. I was like, that's the best value to get into a mastermind ever. There's an incredible return just by making that move because I get to learn from, I'm in direct relationship, partnership, I'm doing work with them, business with them. They're invested in my success as well. So it's like the perfect opportunity to get plugged in with people that you want to build a business with, that you want to learn from. You want to work with people that have created wealth in real estate. Like that's the opportunity you get to do all the way from Connor, all the way down through our team. It's like, you want to work with top producing agents. You want to work with social media influencers. You want to work with top luxury agents. You want to work with top real estate investors. We've got them all in our community. And you've got the ability to connect, reach out. It's super collaborative, what we've got going on. And that's what I love about what we're doing, because it's, you run together, you win together. It's collaborative. We get to help one another. We encourage, support, cheer people on. And it's just the nature of our community. So I think one, do something different. If it's not working, look to add something new. And then also just really take a look at who you're surrounding yourself with. And the one thing I'll share before we wrap is my question to you, if you're a real estate agent out there, and you can send me a text or shoot me a DM, but if you love where you're at, I would love to know why you love where you are. Like, what is the biggest value you're getting from the broker that you're with right now? Like, wherever you are, what is the thing you are absolutely head over heels in love with? Because I'd love to hear about it. Because out of the hundreds, thousands of agents that I've talked to, I've not yet to find one person that's made a compelling statement for me to think about where I'm at, to say, oh, where they are, where that person is, I'm interested in that. Like, not even close.
Mm.
So if you want, I know it's a loaded question, but reflect upon that. Like, what's the biggest value you're getting from where you're at? Like, what return are you getting being planted where you are with the brokerage? Because if you're not getting a return, if you're just comfortable, you're like, I've been there for a long time, or whatever, they don't charge me much. Like, just think about how much of a sacrifice you're making, limiting your potential by not being in a room where some of the numbers may look different, but your opportunity to create a bigger impact and move forward in your life would be totally different.
No, and yeah, no, thank you so much for sharing that because it's so used to be comfortable, right? But it's comfortable while you join this industry, right? I don't think it is. And if you feeling like, you obviously be in an environment that you feel excited and happy, I think those things are super important. But is that elevating you, right, to that next level? Are people pushing you to your next level? Because I think sometimes we also have, I feel like even when I got into this business, I mean, even getting real estate was something I never thought of doing it, but someone else saw in me in real estate. And then once I joined, they saw me doing this, and this, where at the time I couldn't see that, right? So you need people around you that is not only saying like, oh, this is awesome what you're doing now, but they also like telling like you can do more, you can pursue more. And obviously we all have different goals. And this is something that is just, so beautifully, I think about our group in here is just the community is unmatched. Like I also come from the tech industry, like in communities and networking and done all of those things. And I was blown away from day one of like, joining this community and how everybody's for everybody. And that is just something that I also talking to a lot of agents and they don't get that. And it doesn't matter if you're a brand new agent, if you're a high producing agent, the love and the level of community, it's for everyone, wherever you at, right? And this is another thing to just kind of touch in as we kind of wrapping up. EXP now has every year they're improving, adding more value, and with the same pay. We don't pay extra. I was just telling an agent today, I was just like, since I've been here for 3.5 years, the amount of services and programs and training that they added to or to our systems, we never got an increase for it, and I know we never will because that's something that they're looking to continue to ensure that we're not paying anything extra, but we're getting so much back year over year. And then this year they introduced the co-sponsorship, with something that I feel like it's brilliant. And someone that maybe it's watching us today, you're like, I love what Ben is doing, I love what Amanda's doing, but like, who do I need to go with if I want to join the Wolfpack and EXP? Well, the answer, you can get the best of both worlds, because that's something that EXP now provides, that you can partner up with two amazing individuals within the company, and then get all the training and the support, become part of the Wolfpack family, and and do that. So as I shared earlier a little bit, all Ben's information is going to be on the description, how to find him, how to learn about, like, if you're thinking about investing. Obviously he goes beyond that, but that's like something that he's really passionate, have so much to share. And it has helped him in his business and growing. Every single week I'm on the calls, he's sharing wins. And so definitely 30 minutes of a call just to kind of discover more, have that one-to-one, you could change your life. And I'm not saying this just just to get you to book a call with Ben, but truly it can be something. If anything, I know you're going to get something out of that call that you can implement in your business wherever you're at, if you don't not ready to make a move. But if you want to learn more about our group, what we're doing, how we're supporting each other, definitely take that time, to book that call and learn more. And Ben, as we're wrapping up, besides just being, so grateful for your time today and sharing everything that you did, what is just like one little last wisdom for, our, whoever is watching us today as we're, closing up? How we can find you, what is the best way as well, like, of connecting with you? Obviously, I'm putting your information, but, tell us a little bit more.
Yeah. So, and I'll wrap with this and invite you all to follow me on social media. Instagram's kind of my primary spot, at Benjamin Deal. So you can track me down there. But the one thing, so the second part of the investor agent game plan is how to get unlimited listing leads for free by working
Mm.
with real estate investment companies. And the one thing I'll share with you, and if anybody wants to learn more, I'd be happy to, invite you to the presentation I do on the game plan where I break all this down, the investor agent game plan. If real estate agents understood that they are getting contacted, we are getting contacted by our lead source that will give us all of the real estate listing leads that we could ever want every day. Okay. Because what I know is that real estate investors are contacting every homeowner every day across this entire country. If you own a home or a rental property, a combination of both, you're getting offers every day about selling your house, or if you want a cash offer. Those are real estate investment companies that are marketing to homeowners. And guess what? They're not interested in speaking to you if you're not a distressed homeowner. So what I do, I've got a strategy in the second part of this investor agent game plan is how to partner with the real estate investment companies that are doing all that marketing that aren't using those leads, the retail leads, and people want to know how much their home is worth. Like, there's an opportunity for you as a real estate agent to contact the local real estate investment company in your market and say, hey, I can help you do this, and here's how. And that's the second part of the game plan that I lay out. So you can hit me up on Instagram, or you can go to investoragentgameplan.com and register there for the presentation that I do on that. But I just want to help people be successful and win in this business. I believe working with real investors is key to building a consistent, self-sustaining real estate business. Not to say people may not, like, if you've got an incredible referral business, your sphere business, the traditional real estate business, just think what's possible if you add in 5, 10, 15 investors that will do 5, 10, 15, 20 more deals plus a year. Like, you can radically, shift your business and grow that. So yeah, feel free to reach out, hit me on socials on my website, check out Investor Agent Game Plan, and I'd love to see what we can do to help.
Awesome. Well, definitely do that. Links will be below. And Ben, again, thank you so much for joining today. I am sure in the near future we'll have you back in here and continue to share more of the wisdom. But I appreciate your time today.
Yeah, thank you.
All righty. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you are subscribing and getting that notification bell on so that you can be up and knowing with the next, interview we'll have every single week. And for now, thanks, everybody. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.